Hello and welcome. Before we get into the video, do want to let you all know two ways to donate. I have a Patreon account, which is month to month, and a coffee account, which can also work month to month, but it also can be one-time payments or lower amount payments. Don't donate if it's going to put you in financial stress. Only if you can afford it and you want to. Things are hard enough for everybody out there. I don't need you putting yourself in trouble just because you want to donate. So please. Anyway, today I figured I'd dig into a little something that has seemed to be all over the place as of recent. That there seems to be this push to make Hasan Piker, a streamer on Twitch who is on the left and is genuinely good in his commentary, seem like the most anti-Semitic, hate-filled being there is. And he's not. Because, again, this is clipping videos out of context. You know, they're trying to say the left needs to separate itself from Hasan Piker. No, America needs to separate itself from the government of Israel until it starts acting human, and the U.S. also needs to separate itself from this regime and Republicans so it can maybe start acting human and decent as well. Because, frankly, neither one of us are great. And we know Israel's gladly pushing their agenda, saying, come on, America. You know, you want to do what we say because we'll force Trump to do it anyway, since he is in the Epstein files for certain things. So, yeah. And you know this is what's going on. Clear as a bell. But still, here we are. They're trying to push someone who actually does a good job, knows what he's talking about, as a prime villain. And he's just not. There's been a number of other left-wing commentators who have said, hey, he's being lied about consistently by these propagandists that are pro-Israel, pro-third way. It's, yeah. It's ridiculous. But, I mean, the Majority Report hosts, Sam Cedar, Emma Vigeland, the others, keep making the point of how these lies are being spread about Hasan. The GOAT, the man himself, Kyle Kalinske, points out how disingenuous these propagandists are in spreading lies or trying to create issues for Hasan Piker. And it's like, look, just we have bigger fish to fry, and you're wanting to go after Hasan because he continues to show the evils that the government of Israel has been perpetrating. It's like, this is why groups like AIPAC should be banned. If you're going to lobby for another country, what are you lobbying for another country in our country? You know, you could lobby for actual things that help people in this country. Lobbying for another country don't help anybody in this country. In fact, I would go to say that is somewhat treasonous. And yet, we treat it like it's normal. Despite all the vile, despicable things groups like AIPAC do in just completely screwing over the American public for their own personal interest. You know, honestly, we need to go, look, we're going to cut off all weapons, all funding, everything else if you don't cut the crap. But of course, we've got these idiot, corrupt, freaking blackmailable politicians in charge. And of course, that's being used instead of having someone who'll stand up and backhand them like they need to. But most of it's because we put this pedophile in charge, this warmonger, and Congress won't even act on what it's supposed to act on. You have a responsibility. You know, it's specifically written out in the Constitution, but goodness knows, since Republicans have been in power, they have consistently shown they do not care about the Constitution, about the law of this land. Only about partisan BS and lies. And I'm tired of it. I'm like I was. Anybody who's watched this channel for a while knows I'm no fan of the Democrats. It's just I really cannot stand the Republicans. They are so vile, so incredulous with their acts, with their lies, with what they do to others who are just trying to live their own lives. And what kills me is the people that are Democrats, there's always these idiots, usually led by these centrist third way groups that, oh, this is who we have to do, because they'll usually go around, let me kiss your ass. I don't care. I love you, Mr. Republican, even though you hate me and everything I do. And I'm done with it. We don't need Gavin Newsoms. We don't need Chuck Schumers. We don't need Hakeem Jeffries. These people do nothing for the party. Yet, they want to go after somebody who's actually left. Which is what you are supposed to be, since we don't technically have a left-wing party now, and the Republican Party is so far off the damn field on the scale, being far, 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 far right-wing. And they're still like, but I want to go right a little bit to get some of their vote. They're not going to vote for you. Guess what? They're not going to vote for you for being partial to the right when they can have far right. You think trying to make yourself more towards the center, more towards the other party is going to make things right? No, you do things that help people. FDR didn't win 4 terms by kissing the ass of Republicans. But what do I know? I'm only somebody who studied history. Was going to be a history teacher until he ran out of funds in college and stuff. But yeah. I'm just so fed up with it. Anyway. A lot of BS. Hasan's a good dude. Knows what he's talking about. Definitely one of the better left commentators to actually listen to. And I'm not talking left just a little bit to the... No, I'm talking left-leaning people. People who actually have ideas about helping others. We could use a lot more socialism in this country after what capitalism has done to us. It's so screwed over everybody. I'm sure there's going to be idiots who try to go, capitalism's the greatest thing in the world. You're a damn moron. But anyway, yeah. We'll go ahead and end this episode there. As always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources, and it can't just be some tinfoil hat wearing sources or random, anecdotes to try to make it seem like, oh, see, there's a whole thing of research. No. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.